Ta-da!
Ta-da!
There it is.
Okay, here's the intro. From the four corners of the internet,
That's
we
super
bring you
information highway.
Kiss Corner with
Hello.
our four hosts, Scott Palacios, Kevin Conrad, Taylor Grosso, and RT Bear.
Yay!
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody.
Yes, welcome, everybody.
Welcome.
So, yeah, we've been posting around. So let me just take a moment in case people don't know who we are. Let's spend a moment with Scott. Scott, introduce yourself.
Scott Palacios, musician, recording engineer, but Kiss fanatic. Kiss nut from the time I was 7. Like a lot of people, saw him on Paul Lynde Halloween special and was just absolutely hooked after that. And spent my life just, they've always been a part of my life at some point or another. Just love it. Every era. I love it.
Scott was kissing it up. All right, Kevin, introduce.
Hey, Kevin Conrad here, another fellow Kiss freak. Also in a Kiss cover band and tribute band.
Awesome.
Also a very famous person I found out this weekend. Yeah, but
Well, go ahead.
Tell the story. Yeah, that's a great story.
It's cool.
Well, no, it was funny. I was at in New York City to go see King Kong on Broadway with my 25-year-old son, and I go to cash out with the card, and the guy, and he's probably in his mid to late 20s, a bartender, and he said, "Kevin Conrad." He goes, "Boy, that name sounds familiar." He goes, "Are you the Kevin Conrad from comics?" And I was like,
Whoa.
yeah. He goes, "You're famous." I go, well, maybe a long time ago I was,
That's pretty cool.
No, it was very cool.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
and then you said, "Hey, have you seen my band, Revenge?"
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Awesome.
But no, that's fun. That stuff is always, it takes me back a little bit, especially because it's been so long, since I've actually been in the business in print. So, but it's cool. People remember me, I like it.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think your work stands the test of time, and people still remember you, and the work is still available. So Taylor just bought the Kiss Psycho Circus trades. Did you order them, Taylor, or did you go to the comic shop?
I ordered them. I was expecting the first trade paperback to arrive soon. I'm very excited.
Nice.
Yeah, so that stuff's still in circulation. It's still out there, and
they're expensive.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
They were expensive when they were in print. When they first printed,
Were they really?
Expensive.
Yeah. Hey, Kevin, she's going to ship those things off and get you to sign them.
I was going to say the
I
same thing.
absolutely will. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I was actually going to say the same thing because, excuse me for sounding naive, but Kevin, were you in at the very beginning of those? Because I started buying right at the beginning. Okay.
Yeah.
Very
beginning.
I'm gonna find them. I would love to have you sign one.
Okay, well, let me wrap up the introduction. So, Kevin, if you guys don't know, he's in a Revenge band. Well, it's a Kiss cover band called Revenge, and they kick some major butt. And they're mostly on the East Coast, but hint, we're trying to get them here on the West Coast so they can play some shows out here. So, the third host of this show, this fantastic Kiss Corner show, is Taylor Grosso.
Hey, Taylor.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
I'm here to read your chat. So if you guys have any questions, you just want to chime in, feel free to do so. I'll be your voice. And Kevin, I would be honored if you would sign that trade paperback.
Oh, I'd love to. I would love to. That's absolutely anything you guys need.
My mail actually got stolen on Friday, I discovered, and I was devastated because I thought it was the trade paperback, but it turned out the thieves just stole like 20 peppers. So
I saw that online. I saw that. They left you one, it looked like, in the box.
Yeah, they left me one dried pepper.
That was pretty sad.
But my first reaction when my neighbor told me, I'm like, "Oh no, they got Psycho Circus."
No.
So still waiting on it to arrive.
Cool.
Taylor also is a brilliant artist and writer, comic book artist, writer, and she's the co-writer of Black and White, and we've written many
Nice.
screenplays and different things as well together. So she's a little bit of an up-and-comer, but she's got a lot of potential, and she's really, really talented. So in the
Thank you,
future,
Art.
yeah, in the future, you're going to see a lot more of her work. And so then there's me, 35-year comic book vet in the comics industry, and Kiss changed my life when I was around 12 years old. I got a Live 2 for Christmas, and I was doomed from then on. I think for the next like 3 to 5 years, I think all the way to Dynasty, I was a Kiss crazed lunatic. Okay, so we got that out. We only have, sorry guys, but we only have Scott for the next 40 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah, so he's got a hard 4 o'clock. That's California time. So we have him for another 40 minutes. So we should get right into the topic. And Scott brought this amazing topic to us, and it's basically replacements. So you want to talk about that a little bit, Scott?
I do. Not only replacements, but just the people that have come in and out of the Kiss fold, be it playing on records. And the reason I brought that up was that I'm doing an online course of like rock and roll history. And I did a review of Destroyer. And, you know, of course, one of the things that comes to mind with Destroyer is that it was the first time that sort of outside personnel had been involved with the band, namely Dick Wagner, who played guitar on Sweet Pain, and I think something, and of course Bob Ezrin played piano and sang on a couple of things, and there were other writing credits, you know, Kim Foley, Stan Pendridge. So there's a lot of people that have come in and out of the fold, whether they wrote. And Kevin, I think we touched on this when we were talking about Killers briefly a couple of weeks back about, you know, Bryan Adams.
Yeah.
You know, Bryan Adams wrote 2 incredible Kiss, to me, anthems. You know, War Machine and Rock and Roll Hell, which is one of my all-time favorites.
Yes, they're both great songs. Yeah,
they're great tunes, and a lot of people do. You know, who the Cuts Like a Knife, Bryan Adams. You know, people just don't put it together. But yeah, those are just rockin' tunes, and throughout dating back since Destroy, they've brought people in. You know, here and there. Mainly, Creatures of the Night is just packed with additional person. Well, there you go. There's a picture of Dick Wagner.
Yes.
yeah.
The Dick Wagner, rest in peace. He passed away a few years ago. Was a part of Alice Cooper's band for many years, and Bob Ezrin used him on a lot of stuff. He used Dick Wagner, and rightly so. Brilliant writer, great guitar player. But yeah, Creatures of the Night especially. There's a lot of people on that record, whether people know it or not, and some of them weren't credited. I think Doug Aldridge was never really credited as playing on, and he did play on some of it.
I did not know that one.
He did, and I don't know what. I'm not sure specifically what. Of course, Mike Baccaro played bass on Creatures, the title track, and then Jimmy Haslip, who has history with the band because he was in a band called Blackjack with Bruce Kulick. So these are guys that some of them had a lineage, you know, with the band. And of course, Bob Kulick, you know, played on a lot of stuff early on. But Creatures there's a ton of people on that record.
Well, hey, to focus this, I have images of each one. So what if I click on the images and then you can talk about each one of the guys? And I'll try to do it in order of the way they were, you know, in the lineup.
Yeah.
So I have
of course Vincent.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, huge part of that whole era. You know, Creatures, and Kevin, I'm sure you know about his tenure in the band. And
oh yeah,
and just it was rocky. You know, rocky from the start, but he wrote some great stuff, and of course, Revenge. I mean, he was a big part of that era. You know, Revenge, the album, Revenge, the song. I think, Unholy.
co-wrote. Yeah,
co-wrote.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
He was
Really?
writing even uncredited, right? I mean, before he officially joined the band, right?
Well, he was right.
think-
He was credited as Vincent Cassano.
Pisano, right.
What?
Yeah.
Because he
Which
wasn't
is-
Vinnie Vincent officially until they actually made him a member.
They
of the
called him
band.
Vinnie Vincent. Yeah, you'll know.
Yeah, they changed his name.
Okay.
But he had written Vincent Cassano. He had credit, but brilliant, great stuff. I unfortunately never got to see that era. I wish I saw that lineup with Eric and Vinny. I never did.
Yeah, I got to see them with
oh.
the Creatures of the Night. Lick It Up.
Did you really?
Actually.
Oh
Yeah.
God, I would have loved to
Yeah.
have seen him. Yeah, and then of course later, Bruce Kulick and there's just been people in and out of the fold, and even the elder. There's a couple of people that played.
Oh gosh.
Oh, Vinny, there he is. Oh, Vinny.
He's a pretty girl.
But doesn't he look like he should have been an angel? I mean, doesn't he would have fit right in? He looks like Mickey Jones from England.
Yeah, he does. He does.
He really does. He looks like, and then I just there's a lot of people that came in and out of the fold, and people even with Love Gun, there was it's never really been out there. The people had done some stuff on Love Gun and here and there, and of course everybody talks about the Eddie Van Halen playing on Got Love for Sale, and I forget what the other tune was.
In the Paul Stanley book, which I've been listening to almost every night.
I'll
only
it,
admit
right?
that here. Yes,
He is.
he talked about Vinnie Vincent, and I love how he just goes, he was real goofy looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he looked cool. Well, I like non-makeup Vinnie Vincent.
They claimed
How
that
about Vinnie Vincent now?
He's odd
yeah.
with the cross. Yeah, it's weird on his face.
they talk about how he was just like, I gave him the onk. Like, it didn't mean anything towards his character. We just needed to give him a look. Like, he just totally Paul just claimed it.
Yeah. Here, use this. Use this. Yeah. But I mean, Kevin, you probably know. There's just a lot of people in and out of there.
I just saw something online. It reminded me when you were talking. When I knew we were going to do this, the bass player from, his name is John. I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. John Bufo or something like that. He was in like Parliament Funk or one of those.
Oh, God.
One of those bands, and he co-wrote some of the songs like on Animalize. And right now I can't remember his name.
I would believe that because that was so. I mean, it was just pretty much Paul Stanley at that point. I mean, kind of running everything, right?
Yeah.
As he said in the book, he was the front man at that point.
Yeah, I mean, he was he took the reins, and there's Mark St. John. There you go. Another. There's a picture of Mark St. John.
Because Mark St. John was the first replacement, right? After Vinny.
He was after Vinny, but he never. Even though people, I saw Mark St. John. I don't know of any shows that he actually did.
He did like 1.5 shows.
Did he really? Did he actually?
They said he did 2 shows. Yeah, and then his hand started swelling.
Yeah, and I've never seen footage of him with the band ever, other than the video. The video, the one video. What is that? I don't know why I'm blanking out. Heaven's on Fire.
Yeah, Heaven's on Fire. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only time I've ever seen him on stage with the band. Yeah, was that.
Have you seen the photo that somebody did of him? They photoshopped his hand, his left hand, all swollen.
All swollen up.
Yeah, it's funny, but it's actually not cool.
It's sad, man.
Yeah.
And then I didn't know that years later until I read Peter Criss's book that Peter Criss had worked with him years later.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Yeah.
Well, they said that a lot of people prefer Mark St. John as a guitar player because he was more of a shredder.
He was a shredder guy.
They said they liked him more than Bruce Kulick, actually.
Well, that's a good question, Kevin. I'm going to ask you this do you think their styles are similar?
No way. Who, Vinny and Mark?
No,
Their
but Mark
styles or
and
Vinny
Mark
And
and
Bruce.
Bruce.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like the
Here's
shredder.
the thing.
kind
I
of-
think
yeah.
yes, Bruce was asked to do that shredding to
Okay.
follow suit with what Mark did, from what
The
I
one-
remember, and that wasn't really his style, but he picked up on it and
Yeah.
he learned it. But he did. Bruce Kulick played on Thrills of the Night on the one,
Oh, did-
just one tune on Animalize. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
wow.
and to me, like, I can't tell the difference between.
They're so similar, right? They're
Yeah,
just so
yeah.
similar.
I'm actually looking at my my Kiss Animalize 12-inch vinyl record right here,
Oh, nice.
and
Nice.
the guy I was talking about is John, like Jean, Jean
Jean Bouvier.
Bouvier. That's it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yep. Yeah. He co-wrote "Thrills in the Night," as a matter of fact.
Wow. And then didn't Desmond Child do some writing for Animalized too?
Yes, he's on a majority of the songs. Him and
Yeah.
Mitch Wiseman.
Mitch Weissman. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
We
just
have
a-
we
yeah.
have a thread going on right now on Facebook on the Real Kiss Fans Love All Kiss Eras group.
Yeah.
About I posted the channel there and people were chiming in on who their favorite member of the band was since the original four. And so far Bruce Kulick is actually kind of in the lead right now.
Okay.
Bruce is very well loved. He's such a good guy. He's so,
He seems like a great guy. I've
Yeah.
never met him. Yeah.
and he would do whatever they asked.
Oh
you
yeah.
know, and,
Yeah.
and it's paid off, because look at, he was on last year's Kiss Cruise. He's on this
He
year's
was.
Kiss Cruise.
Did you
I mean,
see? Did you
Oh
see?
my
the
God.
footage? I wish. Wouldn't you have wanted to
blew it
see
up.
that? Him? Yeah.
That would have been worth the price of admission.
It
right
would
there
have
to see all those
him
songs.
do. Yeah, to see him do that set, the Kiss set. I would have gone on the cruise just to see that.
Me too.
To see him
They
do
still
that.
haven't talked about who's opening up for them. That would be a smart move, I think, on Kiss's part,
To
to
put
have
him?
the Bruce
Yeah.
Kulick band up there, and
That's
it'd be a
Yeah,
whole
they
night of
haven't.
Kiss.
Well,
They
the
haven't
Kulick,
talked
the
about
Kulick
it.
brothers
Yeah.
have quite a history with Kiss.
Oh,
Yeah, they
totally.
do. Yeah.
Bob.
I thought I had a picture of Bob somewhere here. So
I believe
there
we
he
do.
is.
There he is.
Bob Kulick.
Just pick any bald guy with a mustache.
With a
You got Bob.
mustache. Matt Starr
Yeah.
looks just like Bob Kulick. Matt Starr, the guy that's the drummer for Ace Frehley.
Yeah.
He looks just like him.
Yeah.
He looks just like Bob Kulick.
And he could double for that guy from April Wine.
Oh
that
my
drummer.
God, he's Jerry Green. Yeah, he's the
The drummer
Jerry
from
Greenway from April Wine. Oh my God.
So what is the story with Bob, and why was he not? He's the one that didn't go on permanently with them, right? He was kind
No.
of a. Do you guys know the
Yeah,
tale?
go ahead, Kevin.
I
Yeah.
just remember that he really wasn't right for the band, and he recommended, his brother when they were looking for somebody to replace Mark. Mark
Yeah.
St. John, and that's how Bruce got into the fold. But
Well, Bob
He wa-
auditioned the same time Ace did,
Supposedly the same
right,
day.
yeah, he did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that day. Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
they said. So Bob says, that it just wouldn't have been. I guess officially, was it after Ace left that he was offered the job, and he just said that he didn't really want to be like pinned down as a Kiss player. Like he
He's a
liked
music
being a
guy.
session guy, and he
Yeah.
liked the freedom of playing with a lot of different people and a lot of different styles. So he just didn't want to get pinned down into any one,
Yeah.
style.
It's
Of
funny
playing.
how things like what everybody knows and remembers and stuff, because I heard that during his audition with Kiss, Ace Frehley was in the room.
That he walked in, right?
He walked in and he
Yeah.
plugs his guitar in and he starts tuning his guitar and playing over Bob.
Yeah. That's the
You know.
story. That's the story I've always
Yeah.
said. That when he started
Wow.
playing. Yeah. He just started playing.
Yeah, and then like Gene went up to him and said, I'm saying it a lot nicer than I read it, but you need to cut it out. We're trying somebody out here. You're going to get your shot. So,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
they
don't
went
know.
with the obnoxious guy, and they wondered why it went bad years later.
Right off the bat. Yeah, right out of the gate. Yeah,
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought that Ace was trouble?
The other guy was,
Right from the get-go.
yeah. But there you go. Bob Kulick has remained in the Kiss fold, and then of course playing on those great studio tracks that were included on, a live tour.
Yeah.
Who knows if that would have been, changed the history of the band or whatever, or the sound or the style of the band, but yeah, he's always remained. Yeah, he's always been there.
I think what they did was the smart thing is they went with like the Beatles template, and so they went with 4 personalities. And so I don't think Bob Kulick would have been a personality. I think he would have been a great musician, and he probably would have elevated the music a little bit. But I don't think we would have got that chemistry that we got with those 4 guys.
Right.
I mean, for right or wrong, you can go, well, Peter wasn't a great drummer. He kind of had this jazz thing that he was bringing, and they all had this kind of weird backstory. But I think those 4 together made this incredible chemistry. And I think that Paul and Gene, when they set out to put a Beatles type hard rock band together, I think they succeeded. I think those 4 guys, though, at the very beginning, were definitely that. There were 4 unique personalities.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I agree completely.
And they didn't just sell the music. They sold a persona. Like they were characters. They were themselves. And they were musicians, but they were also like these larger than life personas.
Yeah.
The Catman, the Demon, the Love Child, and the Space Ace. So I don't know. I don't see this guy as kind of cooperating in that way.
and I saw an interview once with him where he said he didn't understand the makeup thing.
Yeah.
Like if you want to be, I don't get it. He said, he said they were standing there talking to him after, and it may have been my ace was still there. He just said, I don't know, I don't get it. If you guys are trying to be like I guess he used like a Led Zeppelin. He goes, what do you need the makeup for? I don't understand. If we're going to be a rock band, if we're going to be a rock band, what do we need to do that for? Like he just didn't understand it.
Because Bob, his identity is his playing. So he is that. Those guys went beyond that. So they were the players, but they were also these personas. And I think that's the difference between, I don't want to say musicians, but that kind of is. Like those guys are like, I'm going to say everything I have to say with my music.
It's like
Kiss went beyond that. They went, it's the music, but it's also the performance. It's like the spectacle. Yeah.
Like you couldn't put Steve Howe in Kiss and expect it to work.
Although that would have been really interesting.
Wouldn't that have been brilliant? Wouldn't that have been brilliant? I know.
I can kind of see that, where the heart rules the mind. Like he just does all those like squeaky guitars, like in a Kiss song.
Playing a 335 way up high on his chest, and just there.
Just do that rock back and forth thing.
That thing that he does. Yeah.
That'd be funny.
It might work.
Okay, so have we covered the Kulick brothers?
Kulick brothers, and then of course Bruce came in and dominated, and he's great. I really like Bruce Kulick.
Yeah, me too. I think he's probably the best player.
Yeah.
Durakin in the chat, Durakin in the chat brought this up, and I think it kind of speaks about Ace too. He said, "There's a reason Raphael is everyone's favorite turtle." In a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, lots of attitudes and character causes trouble. But imagine if you didn't have that.
Exactly. Yeah. What if you didn't have that? Exactly. And then another guy that they had considered seriously, and I think you even know this, that of course Punky Meadows was sort of considered too.
They actually, you know what? I didn't write that down the list. I can't believe.
No, and he talked about it in that interview. He said, "Oh yeah, it was very serious. Like it was."
Well, they said they did give him the job. They offered him the job, so he did have it. But he's the one that said he declined. Yeah.
And then
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then another guy that was seriously considered, but again, it came down to they just didn't think that he had the look, but playing was Steve Ferris from Mr. Mister.
Yeah. Well, he played on Creatures.
Creatures.
Yeah,
and he's
did
brilliant.
Creatures in the Night solo, man.
And he's brilliant. Yeah, he sounds incredible. he was in the top running for to come in, and they just didn't think he would fit in. And I think that was also the case with Aldridge. And then another guy that played on the record, and I've never seen him get credit. And again, I'm not specifically sure what it was that he played on. Was a local LA guy by the name of Steve Pfister. And I don't know what he played on. I'm not sure, but I know he did something on that record. And of course, Robin Ford, talk about jazz guys playing with kids. Robin Ford played on Rock and Roll Hell. And I think I Still Love You, that brilliant guitar work on I Still Love You, which is amazing.
Yes,
okay.
that is.
Do you want to finish up the guitar players that I have here? I think I have, of course. I have Tommy.
Thayer, of course.
Yeah. So these are all the big, like the highlights, more of like the guys that people would know.
Oh yeah,
that took over the guitar spot.
Yeah.
So So
There
you guys
you
want
go.
to talk about Tommy a little bit?
What's your opinion, Kevin? What do you
Tommy, I like Tommy. I think he's a great guy. From everything I see, from the outside looking in.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. Kind of like Bruce in that respect. He does what he's asked.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a good player. Nobody can play those ace licks, I think, like Tommy
agree.
can.
However,
However, he's but there's the difference between him and Ace is there's no soul in his playing.
Yeah.
When Bruce played Ace's stuff, I mean, he put his own twist on it, so you can't say that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's playing Ace's licks note for note, and it's so clear. Ace was a sloppy player. He had a lot of I don't know, life in his playing.
And that's part of his thing. Yeah, that's part of his vibe.
Yeah, and Tommy doesn't have that. He's a good player, and he's filled the bill for them, and he's doing everything that band needs for him to do.
Yeah.
However, he's hated by a lot of Kiss peers because
he does not fare well with with people.
But let me tell you something. Any one of those haters, they were a musician. Kiss came up and said, "Look, we'll pay you 6 figures a year. Put on Ace Frehley's makeup,
and
play like Ace Frehley, and do it." And you know what? They go, "Yes, sir."
That's funny you said it, because that's something that Eric Singer's even said all along. He goes, I get so much hate and all. He goes, I guarantee you, it could be even someone I know will be standing right behind me to take my place. Yeah, I get. It's a great, and he's honest about it too. Hey, it's a great paycheck. But yeah, anybody, anybody would step in. Yeah, all the haters would be right there waiting to replace me.
So I respect them. I respect Tommy. I respect Eric. I don't, and again, I'm not crazy about them wearing the makeup. I get it.
Yeah.
That's not their decision. It's
not. I agree. It's not.
Ray in the chat says Tommy gets way more flack than he deserves. Him having to wear Ace's makeup is what gets all the hate.
Yeah.
It is. That's true. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And that wasn't his decision. I mean, it was his decision to join the band under those conditions, but it was a mandate. And the thing is, after I think we talked a little bit about this, and Kevin, you were pretty passionate about it, and I've been looking more into it, and I definitely see more of the other side from like the real Kiss fan point of view, because like I said, I kind of dropped out in like early 80s. So all that newer Kiss stuff, I kind of wasn't part of. So I didn't have that same connection to the band that you and Scott did. So when these guys came in, I know you were pretty verbal about it, Kevin, that you thought that it wasn't that cool, that they should have just created new personas. And after listening to a lot of Eddie Trunk talk about it and the Peter Criss book and things like that, I do see it from a different point of view. But however, I'm still really glad that they did put on the makeup that him and that Eric did, because I would never have got to see that kind of, even though it's kind of a Kiss cover band or a half Kiss cover band at that point, it still was enough for me. I brought my daughter and we got to see the big show and things like that. So I never got to see them as a kid. So it was cool for me. but I also see it as I see it now more clearly as a hardcore Kiss fan that it was probably not a great thing, and that if they would have just created new personas for those guys like Vinnie Vincent or Eric Carr, and that type of stuff, I don't think the true diehard Kiss fans would have had a problem with it. So I'm not sure why they did it. Do you guys want to take a moment and speculate why Peter and Gene stayed with those, like Ace and Peter?
It's branding. That's what it is. It's branding. It's you said it before. You said the Beatles.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the Beatles were the most recognized band in the world at the time. The Beatles, everybody knew every Beatles name. Unless you lived under a rock, everybody knew everybody's Beatles name. And that's the way it was with Gene, Peter, Eric, and Paul. Eric, Gene, Peter, Ace, and Paul.
Yeah.
That's what it was, and it was a combination of the popularity of the band. This is me. This is the combination of the popularity of the band, and them themselves. The makeup. They identified with each one with the makeup.
Yeah.
And that's why they wanted to keep it. But they never called Ace the spaceman.
He was always
go back and look.
Yeah.
He was Space Ace or something like that. They never called him the spaceman. They called Tommy the spaceman.
Yeah.
So they do try to separate it a little bit, but they're not fooling anybody. They're in the makeup for a reason, because it's readily identifiable.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
So when they made that decision, they definitely split the fan base, right? It was a conscious decision, and Peter, Gene and Paul, they definitely had to have been aware of that they were going to split the fan base probably down the middle.
Oh, they had to be, but they're also they're not counting. To me, I think they're not counting on the hardcore fans making them money. It's the casual fans that know of Kiss. Hey, Kiss, these guys in these larger than life characters in makeup. They got a great show. Let's go see them. They don't know that it's Peter, not Peter behind the makeup. They don't know that it's Ace behind.
I agree with you completely. I don't think a lot of people know and are even care. Like you said, the key phrase is the casual fan that wants to ultimately hear rock and roll all night, and they're happy. That's it. That's it. They're happy. As long as I can sing along with rock and roll, I'm. What an amazing show! Oh, what was the set list like? Oh, I don't know, but they played rock and roll all night. That's the casual. That's what they open with. I don't know, but they encored with rock and roll all night.
Right.
That's it. That's the fan, and I know a lot of those people. And Kevin, I'm sure you've come across them too. Oh, I'm a huge Kiss fan. Oh, really? What's your favorite album? I can't name.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah.
An album.
And that's also the amazing part about the band is Taylor and I were talking about that in chat earlier, is that they succeeded in a way that was like the Beatles, because casuals know who Kiss are. How many casuals even know who Black Sabbath is or Iron Maiden? They don't know who those guys are, but they know who Kiss is.
Yeah.
So hats off to those guys. They managed to really carve out a place in American pop culture. They're ingrained in pop culture, and you can't take that away. It will always be there.
Yeah.
You have generations. I just saw something yesterday or the day before. I didn't realize that they had been around for 45 years.
Wow.
That's almost 50 years. And you know what? I just had this beat, because they said that their reunion tour, or the tour, not reunion tour, the tour that they're just about to go on, they said it's going to be 3 years, and I'm thinking, no, they're going to stay on the road long enough for the 50th anniversary.
I think so too. I actually think so too. I think you're right.
Oh my God.
Yeah, those guys are going to celebrate their 50th
I think
anniversary
you're right.
on stage, on tour, and then they're going to make the big announcement that they're going to pass the baton to 4 new guys.
I think you're right.
what do you think about if they're going to keep these two guys in the band? Like if they're going to keep Tommy and Eric in the band, and then they're going to bow out. Do you think they're going to do that, or do you think they're going to? Okay, so you think they're going to do 4 brand new guys?
Yeah,
I think so too. I don't think they'll keep anybody. Yeah.
No, they're too old. And Eric has already said that once Paul or Gene is
done.
not there, he's out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and I believe him. Because he's doing it. He's been doing it. Can you believe he's been in that band? Okay, he was out of it during the reunion tour, but
3 times.
27 years.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's been like 3 times
Eric
he's
Singer's been with
the
Kiss.
band.
Yeah. But 27 years he started, when officially with Revenge, 1992.
Yeah, over half of their career.
Yeah.
So that's what's weird too when you think about Tommy and Eric, and you just think like they're kind of newbies, and they're always still considered like outsiders. But how much dues do you have to pay before you actually be considered as like a true member of the band?
Yeah, before you're not the new guy anymore. Exactly.
Tommy's been doing it longer than Ace.
And probably combined. Probably Ace and Vinny and combined. Yeah, he's been around for a long time too. And he's been in the Kiss. There's another guy, like he's been in the Kiss sort of, organization forever, behind scenes and sort of Damage Control and
road manager.
Road manager.
Everything to do with the Kissology CDs, man. That was
Oh, that's right. Him and what's the guy, the Greek, the guy that played the Gene Simmons impersonator. Sparrow. Yeah, exactly. They've been in the fold forever. Yeah.
Papadopoulos or something like
that.
Papa,
exactly. But I mean, even if you see the footage of them rehearsing for the Unplugged, Kevin, there's Tommy, they're short hair, it's like a it's like a corporate guy, but there he is, rehearsals and everything for and that's back then. But he's always he's been around, and he understands that organization inside and out. He understands how things work with them.
Right. Right. Okay,
Ray,
you want to, go ahead, Taylor.
I was just going to say, Ray says, I think it would be better to keep Eric and Tommy for a little while to make the transition less jarring. Maybe just for an album or two.
That's what I was kind of thinking, and also it seems like they have paid their dues. But I think it was Kevin that said if they're gonna do it, they should just cut all ties and just do 4 brand new guys.
I agree.
Exactly.
Yeah, on their 50th anniversary, officially retire and then announce those 4 new guys. And probably as a 50th anniversary show, they should actually introduce those guys on stage and have them play and have all 4 of those guys, like the 4, like with Tommy and Eric and Paul and Gene, have the original, those 4 play with the 4 new guys. Yeah.
Sheldon says, Wikipedia says that Thayer had to paint Stanley's house and clean Gene's gutters. Was that like initiation, if that's true?
God.
That is not true. Man.
I've never heard that. Never.
Yeah. But you know what? After you hear some of these stories, those guys are kind of legendary a-holes. So.
They're rock guys. They're rock stars,
The funniest,
my gutter.
We were talking about, I've been talking about the Paul Stanley book a lot. And I think, when I was telling you, Art, I'm like, he was scared about the draft. And you're like, the draft? How old was Paul?
Yeah.
I figured out how old he was.
Was it the Vietnam War? Jeez.
It's like Korea or something.
Yeah, Korea, exactly.
Korea would have been even older.
Which one?
No, Korea would have been, it had to be, it was Vietnam.
Yeah. The Korean War. Somehow Paul Stanley's still alive.
He's ancient.
Yeah, where'd you come from? Vaudeville? Yeah.
Back when I was a kid,
no kidding,
we didn't have electrified amplifiers. We just strummed the guitars really loud.
They do. That's what, you hear them. They just sound like old Jews. They just.
Oh man!
I know, but they just do. Like
I did not say that. I had no part in that conversation.
I
Right there.
know.
Well,
I
why?
know,
Okay,
but I
Kevin,
meant
what's
it-
wrong
I
with
meant
old
it-
Jews?
I
What's
meant
wrong with that?
affectionately.
Only an old Jew can talk about old Jews.
That's
so
true. But that's what they just like. That's what I've heard. Like they just sound like that's how they
There was
talk
no
to each
malice or hate in Scott's heart.
No. But I just imagine them, like almost like Larry David. How much do you think this gum costs? Just talking like, old guys.
Speaking of, I gotta
Okay.
I gotta ask the straight up question that we've never actually answered on here. Do any of you guys plan on seeing them perform during this last tour?
Who's answering? Who's going first?
I want Kevin to answer this first.
I'm looking up
Kevin,
ticket
yeah,
prices
yeah,
right
Kevin.
now.
That would be the thing for me.
Here's the thing. I will not pay money to see them unless. Here's the thing. I'm the biggest fan on the planet, but if they do something like they did they get everybody there, everybody, Ace Frehley, Peter, Chris, Vinnie Vincent. They do some sort of homage to Eric and Mark. I've even heard rumors that they were actually talking about something about like a, kind of like what they did with Dio,
the hologram thing.
the hologram of Eric. That I would pay money to go see that. I would not go pay money to see this band.
I'm telling you right now, that will happen.
That would be incredible.
They will do it. They will do it. They got 3 years. And 3 years isn't even going to get them to the 50th anniversary of the band. So I think they got like 4 to 5 years to go on tour. So I think they're going to have they're going to have to reinvent themselves in that 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
So I agree with Kevin, if I could speak. I think that would be amazing to see that on stage.
Wow.
Yeah,
I mean,
for
honestly,
sure.
like the love and the brotherhood that I've been seeing on this last Kiss cruise is incredible.
It is.
Vinny even got to play the pre-party.
Yeah,
which
I
was
saw
pretty
that.
hilarious. But I'm telling you, man, it's just like But the odd thing, did anybody else see? They did a tribute to Ace Frehley with "Shock Me" live on the boat in makeup. Tommy Thayer doing "Shock Me" with Ace on the sidelines watching.
Yeah, someone in the chat just brought up that Ace and Bruce are both on board the last cruise.
Well,
Yes.
I did see the footage, and I thought it was absolutely odd that Ace Frehley literally, it was like Tommy wasn't even there. He walked right by him. Unless somebody saw something that I never saw him acknowledge him.
I saw him acknowledge him during the acoustic stuff.
Oh God! I
Yeah,
didn't
they
see
hugged.
that. Did they really?
Yeah.
It just looked like he just walked by him, and I thought that is really bizarre.
That is weird.
Well, especially when you think like Ace and Peter, they did sign off on that stuff. They sold those personas. So to have a mat-on against somebody that stepped in even after they signed off, what did they think was going to happen when they signed that? They didn't think somebody else was going to dress up like them. As soon as they presented them with the contract, that's the first thought I would have. Is like, all right, somebody else is going to dress up like me.
Yeah, because what else are they going to do with it, really? Like, besides just normal merchandising stuff.
Yeah. Hey, while we still have Scott, can we move over to let's do Eric.
Oh yeah.
This is
Singer. Yeah.
Yeah, this is Singer. But wait, let me see if I have the other Eric first. All right, let's do this guy first.
Carr. Yeah. Well, Kevin.
Yeah, don't slight my boy there.
Yeah, your guy.
Aw.
Yeah.
Look at those animal eyes.
Kevin, did you ever meet him? Did you ever meet him?
I did. I met him twice on the Crazy Nights tour.
Oh, God.
Yeah, great guy. Actually, I got to talk to him for probably somewhere upwards to like 30 minutes backstage before one of the shows.
God, that was my only opportunity to see them, and they canceled. They had a night at the Forum, Crazy Nights, and they canceled.
Really?
It was really soft. Like sales were just really soft. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
that
and
sucks.
great record too, and the set list was great for that tour. Great set list.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a good set list.
Yeah, that would have been my only opportunity to see that lineup. Yeah.
I have to ask Kevin this because this is a curiosity always. Because most of the Kiss drummers are always shorter than the rest of the band.
Yeah, that's funny. They all are.
So, okay,
Yeah.
I know how tall you are, Kevin.
Yeah.
Beside me, how tall is Eric Carr compared to you? Taller,
he was
shorter?
Probably shorter. Yeah, shorter. I'm 5'11". He was probably 5'8", 5'9", something like that.
Oh, he was
what I
that
thought.
tall?
5'6", maybe. Yeah.
He looks so small next to that.
He was a little.
What is that one video that look it up when they're all walking through the wasteland or whatever
Yeah,
it is? Like I crack up every time because as cool as Eric's trying to be, he just doesn't have the stature of those other three guys.
They just look, yeah.
Hey, as Paul Stanley likes to say on the Kiss Animalize Live on Uncensored about Eric Carr, he may look like a little boy, but he's built like a man.
Yeah. Well, Paul Stanley would know. I mean, what?
Wow.
I mean, it's a legend that Paul Stanley might be playing for both teams.
No.
Gene says no.
Gene says no. And Gene would know as well.
You would know as well.
Okay, I think I have a shot. Look at that.
That's
Man,
great.
every drummer's like, I just want to get behind those.
That's
pound those
classic.
fuckers. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
That's classic.
So yeah, so this is how you replace a member, right? We're all in agreement,
Yes.
right? Like,
He was
Oh,
one,
yeah.
man. Yeah.
And he was such a powerhouse, man. God.
Oh my God. He
Right?
I can honestly say he saved Kiss. He did.
God.
He brought Kiss back to that heavy,
I
to that heavy sound. I mean, heavier sound than they actually ever were.
I agree. Even before Creatures, like the tour, you see the footage of them in Australia on the Unmasked tour, and the stuff just sounds so heavy, right? Like it's just so heavy.
It does.
Even like Detroit Rocks, it's just big and just the way you kind of hoped they would sound, like just big, and his drums just sounded enormous and just solid, rock solid.
It's weird. I always think of him as the young Kiss member, and he was actually born in 1951.
He was a year older than Paul.
Yeah. So he was way better kept than those guys.
He was in good shape. It's just so sad. How he died.
There was this. I saw this documentary on him. I've been boning up on all this stuff, you guys. This is the best thing that's ever happened to me. I'm reliving my childhood. And all those years, you guys know all this history. I don't. So I'm getting to learn it all right now. It's the best homework I've ever had. And so there's this documentary, and it kind of gets into Eric Carr, and it's his parents. And his parents are talking about like buying him his first drum set, and his dad said like that they couldn't really afford it. So the shop that the drums were in that Eric fell in love with, this is young Eric, that his dad after work would help that guy because I guess he was moving the shop from one location to the other, and he volunteered his time. He said, "I'll give you the money I have saved for my son's kit, but can I work the rest of it off for you in trade for the set?" And so the guy agreed. So that's how Eric's dad was able to get Eric his first set of drums. So I don't know. Everything you hear about like Eric Carr, it's just like his parents. Everything. He's like such a sweet guy.
I never heard anything bad. Yeah, I mean, you hear stuff from fans and even guys of that level, like other guys that were in bands, just always said he was just this guy. Yeah, he was just right, Kevin, and you met him. He was just the guy.
Yeah, I agree completely.
He loved the band. Like he loved what he did.
Yeah, and there's a version, I haven't heard it, but you guys could chime in. It's recorded, right? That he sings a version of Beth, right?
No, he did.
Yeah,
on
he does.
Scratches and Hits, he did. He did re-record the vocal. Yeah.
I gotta find that.
Yeah.
Smashes, and Hits. Yeah, it's on there. And the funny thing
on
about
there.
that was, I remember an interview with Peter Criss talking about that, how they actually called. They hadn't talked to him in years.
Oh no.
And they and I don't remember if it was Paul or Gene, but one of them called him and said, "Hey, we just wanted to get your blessing. We want to put Beth on our next best of album."
Yeah.
And I said, yeah. And he was like, yeah, put it on there. And
he
then he goes
thought,
and he listens to it, and it's not
Yeah.
him singing.
not him. Yeah. Yeah. And again, right? Just foiled again, just like I told you the story about, them picking the producer for the record, and then the guy said he wasn't good enough to play.
Yeah. Vinny,
Foiled
Vinny
again.
Fontaine.
Like he literally shot himself in the foot again.
Yeah. I got to look for that version though, because I heard it's
It's
pretty
good.
amazing. Yeah.
It
Yeah,
is good. It's
great
very
voice.
good.
Yeah.
It's almost identical. It's hard to even
Yeah.
it's hard to even tell the difference.
Yeah. And even like when he did Black Diamond, like he sounded like Peter to
Yeah.
me. The
Yeah.
scratchy, the raspy voice. And
You know what else I revisited, and gosh, when we were talking the other day, Scott, this was sadly without Kevin. We miss you greatly on
I'm
this.
sorry about that.
We missed
Yeah.
you.
But we were
Oh,
talking
thank
about
you.
rock and roll over, and
Yeah.
my gosh, like I listened to that the other day. That is a great album. I don't
It
know
is.
why I always forget about that album. I think
Because
a
it
heavy
came out
album.
so damn close to Destroy. Like it literally came out the same year, and it seemed
did.
like it was weird. Like it just got rolled over, and then before you knew it, Love
rolled
Gun
over. He said.
was
He
here.
said rolled
Yeah,
over.
and
Rock
then
and
Love
roll
Gun.
over, yeah.
But here, Kevin will probably know this. Who's the very famous female vocal on Calling Dr. Love?
You know what?
Very,
I don't
especially
know
at that
that I know.
time. She was huge at that time.
Donna Summer?
Close.
No. Oh, the other one. Chaka
Pop
Khan.
singer. No,
It was another. Wasn't it another Casablanca singer?
Diana Ross.
no, it was actually she wasn't a Casablanca, but she had a huge hit at that time. At the time that Rock and Roll Over came out, I don't even know how they wound up getting her. Like I don't know, but I know it's her.
Was it the one who sang Gloria? Was that the one?
No, it was Helen Reddy.
Helen Reddy. Oh,
Yeah.
wait
Gene
a minute. No, she was. I
Isn't
thought
that
she was
weird?
on Gene Simmons' solo.
Yeah, she's
album.
on Gene Simmons.
No, a lot of people are on Gene Simmons' solo album.
Cher.
Katie Seagal, Cher, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at Helen
I'll tell
Reddy.
you,
I
Gene
didn't
Simmons'
know that
solo
either.
album is a
Till not
cluster.
that long ago.
That solo album of Gene Simmons is a cluster F. It's
It
horrible.
is not. It's great.
No, it's not.
I love it. Tunnel of Love is a brilliant. That could have been on any Kiss album.
I have to hear it now.
Tunnel of Love, Man of a Thousand Faces, brilliant.
That album is all
That
over
was a good
the
song.
place.
It's
Yeah,
the
there's a
Sergeant
couple gems.
Pepper of the Kiss. Okay, it's okay. It's yeah, I love it.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
Well, you want to try to wrap this up with? I think all I have
haven't
left
heard of
is. Oh, you have to take off now.
No, I have a few more. I can push it a little bit.
Okay, so we have Eric Singer now.
Great, who's brilliant.
Brilliant drummer. Yeah. Great
And
drummer.
first came in through the Paul Stanley solo tour, which I had an opportunity to go see him at a place called Bogart's in Long Beach, and
Yeah.
couldn't get in. Couldn't get in because it was just way sold. Yeah.
Yeah.
A powerhouse. I mean, and again, you can find any of that stuff online. He just sounds amazing on even the Kiss stuff, and it seemed like a really easy fit, to have him come in and fill in because he just sounded so great on that stuff. And actually Bob Kulick did the tour too. Bob Kulick was on the Paul
Yeah,
Stanley
he was. Yeah.
89 solo tour as well. Yeah.
And did you hear during that tour, Eric Carr really? This is coming from Paul Stanley's book. Taylor, I don't know if you're there yet, so spoiler.
Oh, I finished it. I
Well,
listened to the
Oh,
whole
okay.
thing.
Well, Eric Carr, in the worst way, wanted it to be the drummer on that solo tour for Paul.
And he was upset
And
about
Paul
it.
was like, no, this is my solo band. I don't want any connections with Kiss.
Yeah.
And so they got Eric Singer, and Eric Carr told Paul Stanley, that guy behind those drums is one day going to take my place.
I was
And-
wondering though, in that section, did you think he already knew he was sick?
No, that was 86. Wasn't that tour?
Well, no, it was 89 was the
89,
solo
89,
tour.
yeah.
And then Hot in the Shade when he got sick was like what, 90?
Yeah, he died in 91. So
Yeah.
so that was during the Hot in the Shade tour where he got
Yeah,
ill,
then
but-
he started coughing and
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
But how's that for
Prophecy, right?
Yeah,
That guy's
right.
gonna replace me.
And I'm
Paul
gonna say,
wouldn't let him play.
yeah, Paul,
Oh,
bastard.
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna step all over
you bastard.
Kevin's toes, but Eric Singer is live. The way he just does little change-ups, man. He doesn't, Peter says, oh, he's playing all my licks. He's not playing all your licks, dude.
No.
I saw him. He's enhancing all your licks.
Huge.
My
Eric-
gosh, the decisions he's making, just they're so subtle, but the little decisions that he's making, and they're all crazy improvements. When I saw him, because like I said, I hadn't really kept up with the band, but then like the first time I really heard Eric Singer play is live, and I was blown away. Just the subtle little changes and the way he was playing those songs gave it a whole new like feel to me, and made all those songs, I'm sorry, made them that much better for me.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Technically, he's a better.
Wait,
he was a
I
better
got
drummer.
Kevin to agree. I
Yeah,
thought you
no,
would like you. No, it's Eric
I
Carr
love
all
Eric
the way.
Singer, man. Did you see? I mean, like the Revenge tour.
Oh, that's
Eric's-
my best.
Yeah,
That's the best stuff for me. I
Yeah.
wish he was playing those big, like the big kit like that, like on the
right. And they never sounded better. And no slight to Eric Carr, but that was probably the best, tightest lineup was that in that Revenge.
Great.
Yeah. I could just imagine. And also, Eric Singer's a showman, man. Like he's twirling those sticks. He's doing stuff behind those drums that I don't know. I haven't really seen too much of Eric Carr's footage, but like I said, I did see Singer play live. So I gotta revisit some of that and watch how Eric played. Like Eric Carr played live, but Eric Singer, my gosh, twirling those sticks, doing all that.
That's going to be your homework. That's going to be your homework. Watch the Brazil show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Creatures of the Night tour. Creatures of the Night, Brazil, the show in Brazil.
Okay. I'm writing this down.
Amazing. And any of the Hot in the Shades, if you can find footage of Hot in the Shade, particularly in Michigan, the Palace there.
Yeah.
That's an amazing show. That's
Amazing
an
show.
Okay.
Amazing
Great
drum
set list.
solo.
Yeah, exactly. Great set list. Back to classic Kiss. Definitely that era.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see how it compares. Yeah, definitely. And hey, before I'm going to let you go, but I got to do one last thing for you, Scott. Check this out.
Right.
Okay, here's a member of Kiss. He didn't last very long, but he was an official member because I just heard an interview with Ace Frehley, and he said it.
Rick Nielsen.
That's an Anton.
Oh my God! And he is. And
It's
he
Anton
is.
Fig.
He kind of was. He never played. I mean, he played on Dynasty and of course in Unmasked and Ace Frehley solo, but he would definitely be in that fold. Yeah.
No. Okay, the story goes. Okay, one of my all-time
And he's small, I think.
Rip It Out is holy. When I heard that song, you guys, I lost my mind as a kid. I was like, that little drum piece that's in there, boom, ba-da, boom, ba-da, boom, boom, ba-da, all that stuff. Yeah. But Ace tells the story that when they were looking for a drummer, he brought Anton to Paul and Gene, and they said yes. And so he was officially in the band, Ace says, for one day. and then those guys nixed it.
Aww.
I read that. I heard that same interview. Yeah.
Did you really? God, I had not that he was actually even considered.
Yeah. No,
I know he was working with another band. Well, I know he was working with a band that Bill Aucoin was managing called Spider. And that was sort of how he came into the full time. But I had never heard that they offered him the actual slot.
Ace actually told him, the guys wanted you in or something like that, right?
Wow.
And then the next day they had to call him back and say, never mind.
Yeah, exactly. That would be a fantasy for me because I love this guy as soon as I heard the Ace solo album. And then I found out that some of my favorite Kiss songs he played on, and I was like, okay, he's my guy. And if you viewers at home don't know who Anton Fig is, one look it up because he's got an impressive resume. And you might know him best. This is still a dated reference, but the David Letterman Band
The most
with
dangerous
Paul.
band in the world. Yeah.
Yeah, he was on TV every night, 5 nights a week, with the Letterman Band, and that was a great band.
It
And,
was a
and,
great
and
band.
Paul Schaefer has a little cameo in Spinal Tap.
And another world's most dangerous band. The bass player on the first Ace record is Will Lee from the Letterman Band as well.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
because I know that guy.
Yeah.
Was it? Wait a minute. Am I mistaken? Maybe I'm mistaking the SNL band because those guys used to be like Hall & Oates' band, right?
Oh God, yeah. G.E.
Yeah.
Smith and T-Bone Walk. Yeah, that was basically the Hall & Oates touring band.
Okay, so I'm getting those two mixed up then. Yeah. So Paul Schaefer in Spinal Tap is the guy that says, "Okay, I screwed up, you guys. Kick my ass right now. I want you to come." And he bends over. He's like, "Come on, kick me square in the ass."
Yeah. Morty. Is it Morty? As our son is Morty? Kick my ass.
I screwed up. Okay.
Anton, amazing. I was fortunate enough in '90, right after the reunion tour. We had the NAMM show in LA, and I was at the Roxy because I was doing a show with a guy that was a NAMM guy, and Ace Frehley walks in, and of course Anton was there, and they wound up playing, and of course they did Rip It Out and Black Diamond. I was just like, my jaw was just on the floor because I was standing on the stage. Oh my God, I get to actually watch Anton Fig play Rip It Out. And he was just the nicest guy. He was just I got great photos. I wish I could put him up of Ace leaning on me, actually. See, I could literally feel his weight. When I took a picture, he was like leaning
because he
the
was
weight
drunk.
of his body. Yeah, something.
He would have fallen over.
Yeah. I was holding him up. Yeah, I'll show you. And he's giving me, the thumb, the classic Ace thumb, but he's like all his weight was on my shoulder.
Okay, I just have to say something because Ace Frehley is my favorite. Okay, do you think that Ace brought the rock and roll into Kiss? Do you think he legitimized Kiss?
Totally.
I agree. I think that guy legitimized Kiss as a rock band.
That sloppy, Jimmy
it's sloppy but full of soul.
Yeah, but great, right?
But it was like the sex, drugs, rock and roll. Like that guy was the epitome of it, and almost every hardcore rocker will give it to that guy. I mean, they give a little bit to the other two, but hands down, they almost all give it to Ace. And his new solo album, if you guys haven't heard it, check it out.
It's good.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's not great, but it's a lot better than a lot of his stuff recently has been. Yeah. So I liked it.
Space Invader. I really did. I liked it a lot. Space Invader.
I bought it.
It's the Gene Simmons. Okay.
The chat has one last great question for all of you guys, since you're all drummers.
Okay.
Would you rather be the drummer on Letterman or be a member of Kiss?
Oh God, hands down, man. Are you kidding me?
God.
Also, it'd be less work in the long run because all you have to do is learn the set list, and then every night you play the same song. But with Letterman, you'd have to learn new songs all the time.
Well, I mean, another funny story. One time they asked Lemmy, like, would you want to? What would you, if you wanted to be a member of Kiss? Like, what would be good? Would you like that? And his response was, "Oh my God!" He goes, "All I'd be thinking about is, I got to put all this shit on again tonight." that was his Oh my God!
But just think, if you're the drummer, okay, and they're not televised and it's not being recorded or anything, you could fake the makeup. You could put it on all sloppy and everything. Like, no one's gonna know. You're so far back.
I mean, there's even rumors that some points that actually, what was his name? Kevin probably remember. Fritz.
The drum tech.
That he played. Yeah, that he played in Peter's makeup.
Yeah, I've got a bootleg. I got a bootleg video of that.
Are you kidding
that whole
me?
show.
Where did you find that?
I
would love
there's this guy, his name is Michael Arquette. Does that ring a bell?
No.
You guys, he's a big Kiss fan.
No.
He used to do a lot of Kiss bootlegs.
Oh God, I would
VHS.
love to see that. I would love to see that.
And I'm sure it's on YouTube. It's got to be. Everything's on YouTube.
Well,
gotta
I
be.
saw him in the at the forum, Love Gun Tour at the forum, and they said that the third night that Peter was completely incapacitated
Yeah.
right up
Yep.
until the show, and that Fritz, what was his name? Postaway. I don't know what his first name was.
I don't remember his name.
But
either.
Fritz was in full, ready to go
Yeah.
on. Supposedly, that he did
And
play.
he did.
I guess
He played the
yeah.
entire show.
Oh my
And-
God, I would love to see that.
And they gave him credit too. They actually, I remember distinctly live, like Paul saying, give everybody
Oh.
want to give her, or everybody give our drum, Peter's drum tech a hand. Peter's under the weather, and they
Yeah.
roar. I don't think again. There you go. There's a case in point. They had no idea until
my
Paul announced it.
God.
Yeah.
I am gonna look for that immediately.
Well, the fans don't even know when those guys are hurt or when they're like on fire or anything like that. They
I know.
They just think it's part of the act, so why
He's
not?
on fire. Oh, look, he's on fire.
Guess
yeah.
what? That's not Peter Criss. Oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
just go with the show as
Yeah.
long as things are blowing up.
Good Lord.
Yeah. I gotta. What we all should do, and maybe if there's any Kiss fans in the chat, we need to start reaching out to some other YouTubers, like Kiss YouTubers, and
That's a
start
good idea.
start networking and start cross pollinating, because there's got to be some great stories. And what I would like to do is find out. Like, this is our homework, all of our homework, is how we could start maybe showing clips and start playing some music, because
That would be
Yes.
good. I have some bootleg. I have some good footage.
but
too.
I just legally, I don't
As
know
Kevin
how,
probably does.
Oh,
I don't
got
know how
tons,
some of
yeah.
those guys do it. Yeah, we can get the stuff, we can get the footage, and we can get the songs, but I just don't know how we can do it legally, because there are some YouTube channels that are sharing those things, and I don't know. I don't think they're getting permission from the band to do it. Yeah, but I'd like to find out, because we could really make this show great. Like, can you imagine if we had footage and things? We could watch these guys and critique and talk about it. It'd be amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I even just recently, and I've been looking for this stuff forever, but finally people are starting to post footage of the LA shows from the Love Gun tour. Finally, I'm starting to see forum shows from 77, because like I said, I was there. Just recently somebody put up snippets of all 3 nights, and I mean, it's hard to believe. I'm like, oh my God, I was sitting there too. But Dynasty shows are the ones that I would love to see more footage. I have one, Kevin, you probably have some Dynasty shows. I only one I have is Maryland. That's the only one I've ever been able to really find.
The reason I'd like to
talking
see
about with Peter or with Eric, because I've got
with Peter.
Yeah.
Largo. Yeah.
Right.
Something I have. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
it's a
the
good
reason I'd
show.
like to see the forum
good.
show is because I had tickets and didn't get to see the show.
That's right.
Aw.
So that'd be neat to see it on video.
Yeah.
So let's just kind of reach out, and if there's anybody in the chat that can maybe hook us up, that would be amazing, because I think what this show is right now and what it can be, the 4 of us, we could turn this thing into a pretty amazing channel. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
So does anybody have anything to pitch? Do we want to do an outro?
I have a question. Taylor, are you in Kiss makeup right now?
Not yet.
Okay. Are you in
that-
full garb, just sitting there? Okay.
Yeah. Hey,
make
Scott.
sure.
Scott, explain to Kevin, because he wasn't here last one, what Taylor said she would do.
I don't know what led to it. I don't remember what the context was, but Taylor at one point said that if we got a certain amount of people involved, that she would don Kiss makeup. Did we decide which?
I don't think we did.
Okay.
But she's not going to do it for anything. She's going to do it. Yeah, she's going to. Okay. The backstory on this, Kevin, is that no one knows what Taylor looks like.
Nobody knows what she looks like. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So everybody asks on these chats, like, what does Taylor look like? So then I start thinking, like, oh my gosh, Kiss did that whole like MTV Unmasked thing. Like, what if we did that like with Taylor? And so then I was like, Taylor, would you do it if the black and white Indiegogo hit 50K? And if you guys haven't heard, Taylor and I we write comics and draw comics, and one of the books we're working on right now is called Black and White, and it's up on Indiegogo right now. And so I said, for $50K, would you don on Kiss makeup and then let us videotape you for Kiss Corner? And then she's like, okay. So if there's anybody out there that knows any Kiss fans and comic book fans, go back Black and White so we can get Taylor in some Kiss makeup.
Yeah.
Yes,
So-
Black and White is in demand right now, and you can check it out in the description.
Yeah. And so then I don't know if she would do this, but I don't think we came up with, then we would do a whole MTV Unmasked, Kevin. And so then I don't know what she would do this for, but then we would take the makeup off her and reveal what she really looks like. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'd be a
Oh, that's
two-parter.
awesome.
Yeah, it'd be
It
a
is a
two-parter.
two-parter.
Yeah.
I also want to start ending these shows with This Day in History. Would you like to hear
Oh,
This
good
Day's in
one.
History?
Yes,
Good
please.
one.
This Day in History, Paul Stanley married the very beautiful Erin Sutton,
Oh,
his
yeah.
second wife. And the ceremony took place at the Ritz-Carlton in Pasadena, California.
Did it really?
What is it, like 18 years or something like that, right?
It was
Is that what
in-
it said? 18 or 12. Those
It
two
was in
numbers.
2005 that they got
Okay.
married.
So, yeah, so
Really?
12
was-
years. 12 years.
Yeah. Erin seems very sweet.
So Taylor knows all about the Donna Dixon stuff. Oh my God! Well, one of these days we're just going to have Taylor do a review. That could be a Kiss Corner, a review of Paul Stanley's book.
Oh, I'd love to do
Donna
that.
Dixon, Lisa Hartman.
There's all kinds of stuff.
There
Taylor
is.
knows
He
all
was.
of this
Oh
stuff
God,
now.
he was a mess. Lisa
Yeah, you
Hartman.
guys- we should all-
Leslie Ann Warren. He yeah.
Okay, just to back up, why Leslie Ann Warren? She was a stick.
Yeah.
Somebody give that girl a sandwich.
And then he had the nerve to pick on the girls that were in the one music video where he's like, they looked like they needed a sandwich. I'm like, what are you talking about?
yeah.
What?
Well, my favorite is just I don't want to step on it, but how Donna Dixon dumped Paul Stanley. So we're gonna leave that for Taylor's story.
Yeah, let's all like re-listen to the book and then we can talk about it next time.
Okay, Kevin, do you have any revenge dates coming up? Do you have anything?
Well, we got one in January 19th at a local pub called the Flight
Nice.
Line. We have a gig in April. I want to say it's around April 14th in New Hampshire. We're opening up for another 80s hair metal band.
Nice.
It's a four-hour drive for a 1 hour set. They're giving us a room. They're paying us. They're guaranteeing us a certain amount of money.
Good.
We don't have to bring anything except I just got to bring my cymbals, like my sticks, my snare,
And your hair.
stacks of
And your
my
hair.
hair. Stacks of Marshalls there already. They're renting a theater, like an opera house to do this.
Nice.
So, looking forward to that.
That's
Very
awesome.
cool.
No comic conventions on the horizon right now for me. That's it, really. And I'm gonna make a YouTube channel for our revenge soon. So everybody
Even better.
Yeah, we'll
so I'm
tie
gonna
it. We'll
throw
tie
out a
it to
video.
this. Yeah,
Keep us posted because we can
Please.
start linking it up.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, definitely
Link
will.
it up.
Link it up. That's it. Oh my God.
You know what? You know what, Kevin? It's only right.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, definitely. And so, if you guys don't know, Kevin has an amazing band, a cover band, Kiss cover band. It's called Revenge, and they rock. And the last stage setup I saw these guys do was absolutely amazing. They had the Kiss Army banners on the sides of the stage and everything. So the show's getting bigger and badder every time you guys go out. So check that out. And if there's anybody that's running even a Comic-Con and you want entertainment for your Comic-Con, get a hold of us and fly Kevin and Revenge out to play like a West Coast show, because you definitely have all of us there. And I'll do the show for free. I'll set up, because I usually have an appearance fee. I'll do it for free. We'll set up, we'll do a live remote there. And we'll promote the heck out of it. We'll have all the convention has to do is pay for Kevin and the band's expenses. Everything else will be free, and you'll have entertainment for an hour or whatever. it would probably be like a Saturday night, right? That you guys would probably
Yeah.
play.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be
If it's
amazing.
if it's a 2-day show,
Right.
and that would just be amazing because I think Kiss and comics, they go hand in hand.
Absolutely.
And so I think that would
Yeah,
be
for
a
sure.
blast. So if anybody's listening can make this happen, I'm going to keep saying it till it happens.
Yeah.
We got to get Kevin and Revenge out here on the West Coast here, man.
Agreed.
Yeah. So if you haven't heard, Taylor and I, we have a killer book. We're almost at 44K now. So we are kind of closing in on 50K. We just offered some new stretch goals, so check those out. And Taylor will put on some Kiss makeup if we hit that 50K. So,
But only if we hit 50K.
yeah, it's only if we hit 50K. So we'll have the Indiegogo black and white in the link, and we'll have the guys' stuff in the link as well. So you want to talk us out, Taylor? Well, Taylor, do you have anything to plug as well? Do you have any?
I do not at this time, but remember, if you guys change your mind, want to go on the Kiss End of the Road tour, I just looked up ticket prices, and we could get in for $35.
Are you serious?
35.
Yes.
That's got to be nosebleed seats.
That's
man.
got to
yeah.
I've been hearing.
I didn't see anything that cheap. They were really
either.
up there.
That was
yeah.
Like
the cheapest
150.
one.
Was
Yeah,
the
cheapest was like 100 exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, black and white, everybody. Just to wrap up, it's in demand right now on Indiegogo, and
Nice.
you can go and pick that up. We still have most of our tiers open. Like Art said, we just added a stretch goal where you can get the button/badge set, and we have
That's at 46K, right? So
46. Yes.
Yeah, and then we have another stretch goal at 50. But go ahead.
Yeah, we have another stretch goal set at 50, and we can keep extending those. Like I said, it's on in demand right now. We'll announce it before we close it out, but you haven't missed your shot yet. Although a lot of the tiers are limited, and some of them have been sold out, so don't wait too long. Thanks for joining us on Kiss Corner. Check out the links to support. I think we have Kevin's art-centric Facebook.
Yeah. Kevin Conrad art.
And we have
my-
the Revenge fan site until you get the
Nice.
YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And then we have Scotch, which is SMP. I can't find it right now because I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
Media.com, where you can check out his stuff. And of course, all of Art's social media is there to follow. Make sure that you like this video to help boost our views. And like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications so you never miss a Kiss Corner.
Don't
Yes.
miss it.
Yeah, so hey, thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks
you,
to
everybody.
my co-host. This is a blast, man. I look forward to this every week. So thanks
Good.
again, man.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for having me here.
Nobody
Great.
puts Kiss in the corner.
Noah,
Nobody. All right, guys.
good show, everybody.
Enjoy your Monday.
All right.